Welcome back, guys. This is going to be the last video in our HTML course, and this is also going to be probably the most fun. If you made it through the whole course, this is like the grand finale, or if you're just watching this as a one-off video, that's fine as well. But what we're going to be doing today is making a full multi-page website with HTML. And we're going to use best practices and semantic tags and everything that you've learned up to this point. We're going to put it all together into one big project. So the website's not going to be the prettiest because we're just going to be doing HTML. We're not going to be doing any complicated styling with CSS, but it's still a great kind of first project if you're new to coding, or if you've tried to code before and you've quit and you've taken a break and you need to get back into it. This will be perfect. You need to crawl before you can walk, and this is us crawling with just HTML before we take our first real steps with like CSS and JavaScript and other stuff. So we're going to get started here. So I'm in my HTML course. These are all the lessons we've done so far. What I'm going to do I'm going to make everything cleaner here. I'm going to make a new folder, and if you're in Visual Studio Code like I am, you can just follow along with me or whatever text editor. But I'm going to make a folder and put all of these files into HTML lessons. And I'm going to click this and hold Shift and select all these and put these in the HTML lessons folder. So now I got all my folders, and then this image files from another lesson, and then the nav is from our nav lesson. So we got everything separated now. Going to close that. I'm going to make a whole new folder and just call it HTML website. And this is where our project's going to go. So I'm going to make sure my HTML website folder is highlighted, and we're going to make all the pages and files that we need now. Alright, so I'm going to go into my HTML website folder now, and I'm going to make all the files we're going to need for our different pages. So I'm going to make index.html. Remember, index is the default homepage of a website, and that's the first page that will load whenever you push this website, if you were to push it to online to a real server. So we'll have our index, and then we'll have an about page. So I'm going to make about.html. We'll have a blog page. I'll say blog.html. We'll have a contact page. So we'll say contact.html. And then since we're going to have a blog on this website, we're going to make 3 separate pages for 3 separate blog posts. So I'll just call it blog post 1.html. And then same thing, we will blog post 2.html. And then we'll say blog post 3.html. Okay, so that should be all the pages we need. So I'm going to close all these out, and we'll start with our index homepage. So I'm going to make my boilerplate text by holding Shift and exclamation and tab and save. And then we'll make a website. We're just going to make a simple website. It's kind of look like Wikipedia, kind of, because Wikipedia doesn't have a lot of styling. We'll make this website. We'll just make it about, let's say, lions, because I like lions. They're my favorite animal, and why not, right? So let's call our website all about lions. Okay, and then I'm going to close that by hitting Command B or Control B if you're on PC. I'm going to go live with the live server Visual Studio Code extension. And I'm going to pull up our web page, our page that we're working on, so we can watch it update together. And then we'll go ahead and get started here. So first we'll start with a navigation, because all websites have navigation. So we'll use the nav tag for that, for navigation. Whoops. Try that again. Nav. There we go. And then remember in our navigation list lesson that all navigation lists or navigation bars are just list items. So we'll do that by making an unordered list, and then followed by list items. And then within the list items there's going to be the anchor tags for our links. And then this first one will be our home link. So we'll say index.html. It'll link back to our home page here. and we'll give it the link text of home, and you can see it just got created right there. And then we're going to need 3 more pages, so I'm just going to copy this down 3 times and save. And the next one will be our about page, so we'll say about.html. And then we'll say blog.html. And we'll change the text to blog. And then we'll have our contact, so we'll say contact.html. And that'll be that. And then our blog, our actual blog posts, those are going to be found within the blog page. We're not going to put them in the navigation bar. So just so you know why we're leaving those out right now. And then we'll make, underneath our navigation, we'll make a section. We'll use the section tag. And I'll give it the ID. I'm going to use IDs in this tutorial, but just for the purpose of like making our sections descriptive. We're not going to actually do anything with them, like style or program with them. So it's just for pure just to be more descriptive. So this will be the welcome section, we'll call it. But this is still how I build real web pages, guys. I actually do make sections for different sections of my websites, and I have IDs in classes. So this is still pretty real life. I'm just going to leave out all the CSS and JavaScript that I normally do. All right, so we have section, welcome section, and then we need an image. I would like to put an image, so I'm going to put a div tag, and within my div, I'm going to put an image, and I'm putting my image in a div tag so that it will display block, because divs are block, and images by default, remember, are inline, and I don't want stuff going side by side with my images. So I wrap that in a div, and now we're going to grab an image. So we'll grab an image of a lion. And you can get free stock photos from websites like the one I'm going to show you called pixabay.com. It's important to use free stock images because if you just copy a bunch of images from Google Images, somebody can own the rights to those, which they usually do. And if they ever come across like a website that you made with their images, they could sue you or write you a cease and desist letter, and you don't want to deal with that. So always use free stock photos when possible. You can use pixabay.com or just go to Google and type in free stock photos and a bunch of websites will come up. Pixabay is my favorite. So I'm just going to type in lions. And this looks like a good picture right here. This will be like our welcome area photo, I guess you can call it. So I'm going to go click download, and I'll download this 640 by 404. And let's see, 357, 6045. So that's downloaded now. It's on my other monitor. You guys can't see it, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually show you something that's really practical and something that you'll have to be doing as a real web developer someday. And that's called compressing your images you want to make the file size smaller. And I'll show you what I mean here. So I'm going to go to a web application called squoosh.app. And I'm going to get that image that I just got from Pixabay. It's this one right here. And you can notice that how many kilobytes it was. That thing was like 100 kilobytes. We downloaded it. And then this app will let you put your image into a different format to make it less kilobytes and take up less space. And that's important because the bigger all your files are in your images, the slower your website can load. And you don't want a slow loading website. So I'm going to go here, and then it pulls your image up, and then you can choose what file type you want. I default to WebP because that'll usually make it at least half as small as the original file size. So we're down 45% to 80 kilobytes. 80 kilobytes is still a pretty big image. Realistically, you'd want your images to be between like 1 and 30 kilobytes for a website, but I mean, that's okay. The reason that this is such a big file size still is because it's an ultra HD, like 4K photo taken with like a really expensive lens by whoever took it. So the more detail in an image, the bigger your file size is going to be by default. So that's why all these stock photos that we're using today are going to be pretty big, bigger than I'd like them to be, but I still want to show you this compressing images thing because this is a fundamental part of web development, and you might as well learn it now. So I'm going to go ahead and download the WebP format of this. And then there we go. Click on it. And then let's see if I can get my Finder up so you guys can see what I'm dealing with here. So I'm on Mac, guys. If you're on PC, I assume you know how to navigate around and get your files on PC. This isn't gonna be like a whole how-to tutorial on computer science. So I got my line. So let's see. I believe it's this one. Yep. See, I know it's this one because it's the .webp. And we're going to call this the welcome lion. You want to make your images. I do already have one here. Okay. Just put welcome. We'll put welcome image. There we go. You want to make it descriptive so that when you put it in your website and you have all these images, you can easily know where it's supposed to go. So I'm going to go within my HTML website file here. I'm going to close it and highlight it. And I'm going to make a whole new folder just for images called IMG. And then I'm going to click and drag this into that folder. And it should be there now. And it is. Okay. So cool. We got our image. We got our free stock photo. We compressed it to make it a little smaller to help it load better. And now we're going to add it to the site. So let's go back down to my image tag. And I'm going to use the syntax /. That tells the computer go out of my current file, go into my other folder, and we're going to find the folder with IMG. There it is. And we're going to put our welcome image.webp. And we're going to save, and there it is. All right, and then we're going to put some alt text in here to describe the photo. We'll just put, I'm just going to put male lion, because that's just a male lion. So remember, alt text just helps people with screen readers and disabilities navigate a web page. You want to put alt text into every image, unless it's something like a pure decoration, like a background design or something. That's not necessary. But if it's an actual image that goes with the website, make sure you put your alt text for best practices. And then below my image and my div, I'm going to put an H1 that says welcome to all about lions. Okay, remember we're only supposed to have one H1 per page, and it's got to be the biggest heading, so it should be by default anyway, but remember we're only using one H1. And then we'll just put some paragraph text. We'll put a P tag below our H1, and I'm just going to put placeholder text. I'm not going to write out a whole website with actual text. So I'm going to use lorem ipsum text, it's basically Latin. It's just gibberish Latin that's placeholder text for web pages. And I'm going to generate that on Visual Studio Code by typing the word lorem and then the amount of words I want. And I want 100 words. And then I'm going to hit tab, and it'll give me 100 words of filler text. There you go. Okay. And you can also search lorem ipsum text on Google, and you can find websites that will generate some for you if you're not using Visual Studio Code and you don't have that little shortcut that I have. All right, so that's our welcome section. Now we're going to I'll make another section, and it'll be kind of like a news section, I guess. Something like that. Maybe it's like a feed from a social media area on a website that's pretty common nowadays. So we'll make a section. And then I'm going to do an ID for the section, and we'll call it What's New. Save. And then I'll make an H2 here. And we'll just put what's going on with lions or something like that. So we'll say what's happening in the world of lions. Something like that. I don't know, just random text, right? And then we'll have like 3 images and like pretend like they're like social media feed pictures or something. So I'm going to put a div below here and an image again. And let's go grab 3 images for this area. So let's go back to Pixabay. And we'll grab 3 images here. So we'll grab this image that I hope is photoshopped with the little girl hugging a lion, because that would not be a good idea. We'll grab this one here. And I'm going to go back to Squoosh, and I'm going to grab it from my downloads folder. So this is 301.25.15. There it is. And then let's see, it's 44 kilobytes now, so that's good. It's a lot less. We're going to make it a WebP. Now it's just 45 kilobytes, so that's good. So now you download it here as a WebP, same file, just as a WebP. And pull up my files again. And we'll grab this one here. This is the WebP. So we'll say this is our what's new 1 image. And I'll just drag this over to my images folder. It's all formatted and ready to go. There we go. And while we're here, let's just grab 2 more. So I'm going to go back. And we'll do this guy in the tree. Okay. And we'll download this one. Okay, and that just went to my files. I'll go back to Squoosh. Same thing. So this one's going to be right here. 73 kilobytes to start, and we're going to knock it down to 31, so that's good. And again, guys, this might seem kind of tedious, but this is even though we're just building an HTML website, I want to teach you some practical stuff. That's why this is the practical web dev channel, right? This isn't just like everybody else who's just, they're teaching you stuff, but they're not really giving you the full story. And the whole reason I made this this YouTube channel was because I feel like my learning journey for web development could have been a lot smoother if people would have just told me a lot more practical stuff from the get-go rather than me having to find stuff out the hard way. But yeah. All right, so this will be what's new 2 .webp. I'm putting them in like 1 and 2 because it'll just help me know like what order I'm putting them in within that section. And this is usually how I name images for when I build web pages, but everybody has different styles of coding, so there's really no right or wrong way to do it. It's just my style. And then we'll do a last one here. Let's do these two. These two look happy. This happy lion couple here. And I'll go to Squoosh one more time. Go to my downloads, and this is the 5. See, this is 577. It's this one right here. And WebP. And this one's going to get knocked down 65% to 26 kilobytes. And that's actually like the professional range of how big you want your file sizes to actually be. So that's very good. And pull up our Finder. Okay, so this is 577 right here. And then we'll say what's new 3. Drag it into our folder. Cool. Got all of our 3 photos that I want. All right. And then we might add like a video just to show you guys how to add a video. We might add like a YouTube video too, but let's do our images first. And then I'll show you how to add like a YouTube video into a website. Super easy. Just to make the website more fun, make it pop. Okay, so let's go back to our index. And this is going to be our first one, right? So what's new line 1? Okay, so let's go /image. And we'll say so I just called it what's 1 image, whatever. Hit save. Should give us our image. Cool, did. And then we'll put in our alt text, girl hugging lion. I hope that picture's fake. I really do. And then I'm going to use the width attribute on our image. Usually we would be using CSS for this, but this is just HTML course, so I'm just going to use the width alt attribute and make it 400 pixels. I don't want to make it as big as this big welcome image, because this is supposed to be like our big banner image for the site, and I don't want anything to overpower it. So we'll make that width 400, and then I'm going to put a caption under here. I'll show you guys. I don't think I ever showed you guys how to do this in our images lesson, but I've honestly never really used this before in practical web development, but it is a thing. So to make captions in HTML, you're supposed to use the tag called fig caption. And then we can just put within our caption, we'll put, we'll say her name is Little Jessica. Little Jessica enjoying time with her lion friend. Okay, so little Jessica's having fun. That should show up. See how it shows up under the image as a caption? So that tag is pretty useful when you need to make captions in an HTML page. And then we can put, let's see, do we want anything else under here? I guess we'll put like we'll put an H2 or an H3, and we'll put a paragraph under it with some mock text, like pretend that it's like something more about the image or something like that. So we'll make an H3, and we'll say Little Jessica loves lions for H3. Okay. And then I'll put a paragraph tag under it, and we'll do lorem. I'll just do like 32 filler words this time. And that's our first section for what's happening in the world of lions, or our first image area. And then we'll do this a couple more times, I guess. So let's copy this, all this code. So from the div to the ending paragraph. And we're going to make another section just like it with the other image. So let's change this image to the second one that we downloaded. What's new to WebP? There, it's our little climbing lion. We'll put cub lion in a tree for our alt text. And then for our fig caption, we'll put lion cub climbs his favorite tree. I think that's a boy. Lion cub climbs his favorite tree. Okay. And then for the H3, we'll put lion cubs love to climb, I guess. Lion cubs love to climb. And then we already have our placeholder text, so that's fine. I'm just going to keep that. Oh, did I do that as our third one? No, I didn't. Okay, good. So then let's go ahead and copy this again from the div to the closing paragraph tag, and we'll copy it down one more time. And we'll do our third image, and fill it in with some different text. So I think this is the one with the two lions, the lion couple sharing some bathing in the sun or whatever. Oops. Let's do that. There it is. And then for the caption, we'll put lion couple relaxes at sundown, or during sundown. Sundown, one word? I don't even know. Not important though. So we'll do alt text for our image. We'll say lion couple. Just put lion couple. And then for the H3, we'll put lions in love. Why not? Okay. So I think that's going to finish up this section of what's new. Then we'll do, well, actually, let's make our last one. Let's make one with a YouTube video of lions. Let's do that. So I'll show you guys how to add a YouTube video, embed a YouTube video in a website. It's super easy. Really, really easy. Just go here. Let's type in lions. Lions, hyenas, battle beasts. The first 5 years, lions, brother. Let's do this one. Just going to click on this. I'm going to say copy embed code. So I did right click, copy embed code, and it should just give me the code that I need right here. So let's do this. So it's the iframe is the HTML tag that you use for YouTube. And then YouTube already pretty much writes all the code for you, which is really convenient. And then we saved, and then look at that. There's our video. I'm going to do a width on this, though, of like 400. And a height of like 300. Make it a little smaller. Cool. And then let's make an H3 after above this, I mean. And we'll say check out our latest YouTube upload. And right, and guys, this is just a fake website. Obviously, I'm not advocating for you to just take people's videos and pretend like they're yours. This is just for a website, so just realize that. Don't be stealing other people's content. This is just an example, okay? And then underneath the video, we'll put our P tag and lorem32 again, just for some placeholder text, just to make it look uniform. Okay. So in the video, let's make sure the video plays. And it does. That's pretty cool, guys. Look at that. That's awesome. So there you go. We got a little video in there. Very, very cool. And there's other stuff you can do with iframe. You can have it like automatically play the video when the page starts and stuff. And to find out how to do all that, guys, just go to Google like all web developers do and just type it in, like how to autoplay a YouTube video on a web page. It'll show you. Okay. So let's do one more section on here. And this is going to be like a link to our blog area. So let's make an ID. We'll call it blog CTA, call to action. So CTA means call to action. And what a call to action is on a website is it's like something that's getting you to click a button or a link, basically, okay? That's what CTA stands for, call to action. You'll see that a lot as you learn more about web development. So we'll do that, and then we'll make a div and an image again. And let's go grab another image. Let's do this one. This one looks like it'll catch people's attention to click on our blog. We'll just download the smaller image. It's kind of a scary image, to be honest, but that's all right. Go back to Squoosh, and let's pull this image up. And we'll compress it down. I think it's this one right here. Yep. Press it down, WebP to 23 kilobytes. It's a very good file size. Make this small again. Pull up my Finder. All right, here we go. Name this blog shoutout. Let's try that again. Let's just say shoutout.webp. And let's just do this. There we go. And then we'll put that image in here that we just drug over to our folder. So we'll say ./image shoutout.webp. For our alt text, we'll say lion roaring. All right, let's look at our page, make sure that updated. There it is. Let's use our width again. Let's knock this down to like 450. Okay. And then we'll have an H2 under the div. And we'll say check out our blog for the latest news about that. Check out our blog for the latest news and updates, let's say. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll do another paragraph with lorem32. Oops. Okay, and then below that, we're going to put an anchor tag. And it's going to go to our blog.html. And we'll say text that says click here, make it lowercase, click here to read our blog. Cool. So click here to read our blog. So we got big image to get the reader's attention, a headline about our blog, some descriptive text about what our blog has, and then check out our blog, and it goes to the blog page. So we don't have anything on blog HTML, but that it does go to the page, so it works. And that's going to be it for that section. Now let's just add a footer, because all websites have a footer. And then we'll put copyright symbol, which is and copy. And if you don't know what this is an HTML entity. And I have a whole video on HTML entities if you want to go check it out in the same playlist. So and copy, that'll give us the copyright symbol, which I'll show you here. I'll save. And now we got that little copyright symbol here. That's how you do it in HTML. So and copy, we'll say 2023, all about lions. Okay. And then let's give this some separation. Let's give like 2 line breaks. So I'm going to do line break, line break. Now it's got some breathing room as our footer. And that looks good. So this is our home page, guys. View it in the full screen. This is our home page, our index.html home page. Next, we'll go down the list. We'll do our about page next. So I'm going to copy all the code from our home page. And I'm going to exit it out. And I'm going to go to my about HTML page, which is blank currently. I'm going to copy all that code. And I'm going to delete everything except for our nav bar, the footer, and the line breaks for the footer. I'm going to keep that, but get rid of everything else. And then it's all about lions. I'll say all about lions about for the title, because that's what real websites look like. They usually have like a pipe and then where you're at. That's called a pipe symbol. And the pipe is shift, and it should be right over your enter key. It makes a pipe. And then let's go to the about page. We'll click on it, and it's empty, but we do have the stuff that we saved. But so we are on the about page now. Okay. And for this page, we'll have like an image, a heading, and like a section with some mock text that's supposedly about the website. That's what most about pages look like. So first we'll go below our navigation. We'll write an H1. We'll say about us. Okay. And then we can have an about section. So let's say section, give it an ID of about. And then let's have a div and an image again. Let's go grab another image from Pixabay. About this one. This will be our about image. So let's download this. And I'll go grab it again in my Finder. Oh, actually, let's compress it down a little bit so it's not so big. So lions is going to be your lion 312, I believe. Let's see. There it is. And WebP, I'm going to make it down to 42 kilobytes, so more than half of what it used to be. It was like 90 something, I think, or 80, high 80s. That's good. And let's go grab this in my Finder. Lion 312 WebP, there we go. Let's call this about lion. And let's drag it into our images folder. Cool. And we'll go back to our page and we'll add this in now. Go back down to our image. We'll say ./image about lion. We'll say lion in the shade. Line lane in the shade for our alt text. I'm going to keep the image big like that. I don't have a problem with that. And then we'll just have a couple paragraphs with lorem ipsum text. So we'll do lorem 150. Oops. Lorem 150. And then another paragraph below it. Lorem 150. Cool. That's our about page. It's going to be simple. And then we have our footer down there. So that's good. It's our about page. Let's view it in full screen. Very cool. All right, what's next? Blog page. So we'll do our blog page and then our blog post after that. So I'm going to go down again. Let's go to my blog page. I think I already have the code copied still. Let me see. Yeah, I do. So I'm copying all of the code again. I'm going to keep the footer and our nav bar and delete everything else because there's no sense in recoding all that. We'll say all about lines in our title, and then we'll put a pipe and say blog. Okay. Let's click on our blog page and see if that worked. And it did. All about lines blog. Awesome. And then I'm going to go in between my nav and my footer, and we'll get started here, and we'll put an H1 that says blog. So that it's very obvious on what page we're on. And then we'll make a section with the idea of blog, and then I'll make like 3 post previews with images with read more links, and the read more link will take you to each individual blog post, kind of how like a normal blog website would be set up. Okay, so let's go section, make an ID of blog. Okay. And then we'll do a div. We'll give it a class of blog post preview, just to be descriptive. And then we'll do another div inside of that div, and we'll put our image. We're just going to put an image in a div. That's why there's another div there. And then let's grab 3 more images for our blog post. This should be the last 3 images we download and add. So we'll grab 3 more images. And if you don't want to do this image stuff, guys, just go view the code in the description. I have all of the course files and the code. You can just grab the images from my GitHub and skip over this part and then just paste the images in if you really want to. But I suggest you learn how to do this workflow and get it down. So let's grab this one. And we'll compress it down. So that's animals 173. Let's see. Right here. Open. Make it a WebP and knock it down. Knock down that kilobyte file size. And let's pull up my Finder. Rename it and drag it into our image folder. We are, say blog image 1. So it's our first blog image for our first blog post. There it is. Let's get 2 more. Let's do this one. And we'll go back to Squoosh and we'll add it. So this is line 5799. Right here. Get a WebP. Rename it and drag it in our folder. There it is. And so we'll say blog image 2. And we get the last image that we need here. Should be the last one for the whole project. Do this female one. That's a cute little line. All right. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. All right. Pull up our Finder. Line 432. Gonna be this one. And this will be blog image 3. Cool. All right, so we got 3 blog post images. We should be done with the images now. I'm going to close Squoosh and Pixabay out for now, and that YouTube video that we uploaded. And let's get to coding here. Let's get to the coding stuff, right? All right, so we got our blog post preview. We'll go to our image file, /image, blog image 1. Oops, blog image 1 and save. And we'll put female lions. Just put female lions there. And then we will do an H2 below our div. We'll do an H2, yeah. So below our images div, we'll do an H2. And the heading for this blog post will be best friends forever. 2 female lions are best friends. At least in our world they are. So we'll do best friends, and then we'll do lorem. We'll do a paragraph, lorem 32 words again. And then we will have an anchor tag to go read more about this blog post. So we'll say A. And we'll have this go to blog post 1.html. And then we'll say click here to read more. Like most blog websites, I'll have that link to go read more. And that, let's see, should we? Yeah, so we'll just do that first, and then we'll come in later and we'll do the blog post pages. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this whole blog post preview div and copy it down, and we're going to use a lot of the same code and just change our images and stuff. So let's actually put some line breaks here to make this come down a little bit. There we go. All right. And then our next one, we'll get our next image. Say ./image, blog image 2. And then actually let's fix the width too. Let's make all these like 400 width. We'll use the width attribute on these images just to make it look more uniform. There we go, width 400. Do alt text here. We'll just say male lion. And then I'll say width 400. Oh, not 499. 400. And then we'll say, looks like he might be with like a cub, so we'll say father of the year. Okay. Not gonna overthink this, guys. We're just pretty much putting filler stuff in here, but it's kind of the fun part about making little projects and websites like this is like you just get to be kind of creative and funny and silly, and it's fun, right? It's good to be creative. So father of the year, we got our text in here, and we've got a link that'll go out to the blog post. And then let's do break again, 2 line breaks. Let's copy all this again. And we'll do our third one. Go to our image, our blog post 3 image. Blog image 3, which is female lion. Okay, so we'll just change this from male to female. Okay. And for the H2, we'll put, she looks like she's hunting, so stalking her prey, we'll say. Got our text in there, and this will go to blog post 3. Okay, and I think that'll be it for that. For this page, this is just like a preview blog page that you typically see. Now let's go to the, let's do our actual blog post pages that these link out to, these read mores. We'll get those done. So this is blog post 1. So do I still have, no I don't. Let's get our code back. So I'm just going to go to the about HTML and copy that. So copy our about HTML. And we'll go into our blog post 1 code. Keep our footer and our nav bar. And we'll delete everything else. Take out that H1 too. All right. So let's do our first blog post is the best friends forever one, right? So we could actually take a lot of this content. Could take this. Let's see, where's this div end? Oh, it's just right there. Take this div in this paragraph part and copy it. And then go back here and paste it right here. And then let's go to that actual blog post so we can see what it looks like. So Father of the Year, good. And then we're going to put this whole article in an article HTML tag because that's the correct tag to use for this since it is an article and we want to be semantic. So we'll put it in an article and then can make the image a little bigger since it's the actual blog post page, and then that all looks fine. Let's just make like 2 more paragraphs. We'll say lorem, lorem 200, and then below it we'll say paragraph lorem 200, and then we'll pretend like that's our blog post. Okay. Simple as that. So yeah, that's good. I'm happy with that. So let's copy this whole thing, probably. And we can use this as a boilerplate for our other blog post pages. Close all these. Let's go to blog post 2. Copy that in. And let's go back. And blog post 2. Oh, I think I goofed on the first one. I used the wrong. Yeah, this was supposed to be the blog post 2 one. So that's not a problem. Let's change the image and the title so that this is the proper one. So we'll say go to our image, blog image 1. There we go. And then it's supposed to say what? Oh wait, no. Did I just? Yep, I'm on the wrong page. My fault, guys. Blog post 2. We need to go back to this one here and change our image. The first one is the female lions that are like best friends, I think. Let's make sure I'm right. Yeah, and it says best friends forever. So I copied the wrong stuff over. I'm sorry about that, guys. Mistakes do happen though, right? So there we go. That's our first blog one. Now we'll have blog post 2. And I think we already have the stuff over there because I made a mistake. So let's click here to read more, Father of the Year, and we do. So blog post 2 is done now. Even though I made that mistake, it kind of helped us there. And then let's just go over to blog post 3. Copy all this. Go over our blog post 3 page. And we'll go here, change this to the image 3. And then what was the... I'm on blog post 2 still. Let's go to blog post 3. Oh, it's the stalking her prey female one. There we go. Say female lion. Stalking her prey. That should be it for that blog post. And then I think, let's see, I think my alt text might be wrong here if I remember correctly. Make sure everything checks out like it's supposed to. Yep, so our alt text for the first one's wrong. So let's go back here. And we'll just put female lions for that one. Okay, so let's make sure our page works now. So we'll go to the full blog page. Click on the first blog post. It's got the right image, the right heading and everything, so that's correct. Let's go down to the second one. Should be Father of the Year. That's correct. and then stalking her prey. That's correct. So cool. Our blog and our blog posts are all complete, guys. So we did a lot of code copying there and saved a lot of time. And it's best practice to copy and reuse as much code as you can. So that's why we're doing it here. Okay. So the only thing we have left to do now is the contact page. So let's get that done. I'll just copy the index page code really quick. I think it's already highlighted. I'll say copy. Let's go to contact.html. Paste that in, get rid of everything but that in the nav bar. Keep the H1, we'll put contact to, if there's an H1. Nope, there's not. So let's go H1, contact us. Okay, there's our contact us page so far. What are we missing? The title. All about lions, pipe, contact. Cool. And now we will just put a little contact form. It's not going to be very pretty, but it's all right. And we'll ask for like a first name and email and their message in the send button. Super simple, okay? Oh, so my form is here. We're going to delete the action because we're not submitting this to a real server. That's what the action you're supposed to tell it where to submit to, like what server. Usually you'll do that with like PHP typically. But, all right, so let's do a label. And I have a whole video on forms. If you have no idea what a form is, guys, go back into this course and watch my forms video, and we'll make a form, and I go into detail about everything. So I'll say for F name, and then we'll put first name for the label. And I'm going to put an asterisk because I'm going to make sure that they know they have to give us a first name. And then below it, I'm going to do an input. Let's make that bigger. Input, we'll make a text input because they're just going to put a name in there. And I'm going to make it required. Required means they have to fill it out. So if they try to submit the form without it, they'll throw an error message just by using HTML. We're going to wrap that label and input in a div so that it goes on a different line because those elements are in line and everything would go side by side if we made more, and I don't want that. I'm going to copy this down. And I'm going to change the code. This is going to be our email. So we'll say for email for the label. And there's actually an email input field. And it checks if that's an email by seeing if there's an @ symbol within the address. And if there's not, it'll throw an error. And I'll show that in a second. Let's do a couple line breaks here. Space them out. And then let's copy this and the line breaks. And we'll do, this will be for message, this label. Oops, let's do lowercase there, my bad. Okay, and then instead of input down here, we're actually going to put the tag called text area, and that gives you a little area where you can type a message. It's pretty cool. I'm going to get rid of the ID and the name. And then see, columns and rows is how you control the size with HTML. So I'll just make it bigger. And I wonder if we can just do this. Let's wrap this label in a div so the message goes right there and then our message is right there. Perfect. And then I'm going to go line break, div, input. We're going to make our submit input, which is like a button to submit the form. We're not going to have a name or ID because, again, that's used for backend coding for sending it to a server, which we're not doing right now. But we are going to give it a value. And I'll show you what value does here. So the value is the text that goes in the button. So I'm going to hit send since this is a message, and now it says send. So let's see if we try to send the form without filling everything out. Oh, let's make the text area required as well. Let's see, I think you can. Let's see, required. Yeah. All right, so we should get errors here. See, please fill out this field, and then if I fill out my name here, I try to send, please fill out this field, because these are required, right? So it's not gonna send. So let's just put bob@yahoo.com. Send. Please fill out this field. Okay. So that's our form. Everything's working. Our required stuff is working. Let's see if we fill out a message. If we get any error messages. Nope. See, it just sends. Nothing actually happened. If you see up here at our bar, it says HTML ? Because that's the beginning of the address where it sent it to, like the server, and there is none, so it's just blank. Okay. But yeah, so that's our form, and it works. And I think that's it for our project, guys. So let's do a review of it. This is our home page. Remember, we got that cool YouTube video in here. We've got our blog link. Go to our blog. So let's go to the blog page. Cool. Let's check out the blog posts. I'm going to open them in a new tab. So the one thing we have to change on our blog post is up here it still says about. So let's change that. How about for our blog page? It says blog. Okay, let's fix that little error. Not a big deal, but let's have this be as nice as possible, because this is, you should be proud of this, man. This should be something that you should be proud to show off to people if you're just learning how to code. Let's make this be the, we'll make this be the title. How about that? But anyway, yeah, if you're just showing people or learning how to code and you want to show somebody what you did. When I first built my first HTML page, guys, it was very similar to this. I don't even think it was a full website. It was like a single page, but I was so excited, man. I showed everybody, or not everybody, I showed a couple of my friends, and they were like, whoa, what is that? And I was like, yeah, it's HTML, man. It's code. I'm a coder. And I felt really proud of myself, so I hope you guys can do that too and feel proud. But let's just make this look really good in case you want to show it off. Okay, let's go back to our website. Click on our blog post. There, the title should be there. Yep, now the title's up there like it should be. Check this one. Father of the Year, good. And Stalking Her Prey should be up here, good. So that's all there. The blog posts work. The separate blog posts work. Let's go to the About page that we skipped over. Got About Us, big line here, some About text in our footer. Very good. And then people can contact us via our little contact form. So that's it, guys. I know it doesn't look pretty. This is just HTML, but regardless if it doesn't look pretty, this is an actual full website that if you wanted to, you could actually launch this online. Like this is a website. You did it. You built a website. I'm going to make a course on CSS next. That'll take us through all the basics of CSS. And then maybe we'll remake this whole entire website. I'll keep these files, and then we'll actually make it with CSS and make it pretty. Maybe we'll do that, or we'll make some kind of design with HTML and CSS like a real developer would. Maybe we'll get a real design file, and that'll be exciting. That'll be out within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, be proud, guys. What I suggest you do now is if you built this whole thing with me, try to start over from scratch in a new folder and everything and build your own website, and like just try to look stuff up as you need to know how to do it. Go to Google and be like, how do I put a caption on an image with HTML? Anything that you forgot here, or how do I get a YouTube video embedded in HTML? Look it up as you go, and that's actually going to help you learn a lot more, because once you do it without anybody holding your hand, then it really gets knocked into your brain. So that's it, guys. That's it for the whole HTML course. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot, and I hope that you got everything you could get out of this course.